Well, I thought I haven't really told y'all very much about when I lived in the Middle East. I lived in Amman, Jordan. And what a lot of Americans don't realize is that their countries over there are not much bigger than our states here. So I lived in Amman, Jordan, which is it's the next country over from Iraq. So going from Amman to Baghdad would be like traveling from here to Birmingham, Alabama. That's how close it was. So it's not like you're thinking, oh, they're just a world away. They weren't. And so we felt it whenever something happened in Iraq. When they did find Saddam, and then whenever they, tried him and everything. Now, what we didn't see here in the United States is the actual execution. Living in the Middle East, in a Muslim country, they showed his execution. They showed how the executioners abused him, spit on him, slapped him, treated him as badly as they could before they hung him. So we got to see that, and it was like a nightmare. And as soon as that happened, the insurgents started kidnapping people and beheading them. They started off with people, Americans, that had went to Iraq to help them rebuild after Saddam. Well, that's the first ones they got. And they made a big deal about videoing those executions by beheading with a sword. And it was awful. I watched more of those than I should have because it really upset me. But I thought, well, that's over in Iraq. That's not here. Then I get a message from the American Embassy in Amman that said, any American, be very careful when you leave your home. If you're a woman, make sure that you're dressed and covered like the Muslim women, and never speak in public unless you speak Arabic. Because there is a terrorist cell living in Amman that are out to kidnap Americans and take them back to Iraq and kill them. So when the American Embassy sends you a warning message, you abide by that because you know that it's not safe. So that's when I made the decision to come back to the United States. Because when I went, we had plans of opening a business there and staying there. But it terrorized me. I couldn't stand the thought of living there. And it all came to a head when Margaret Hussein was murdered. Margaret Hussein was a British woman who met her husband while he was in the university in England. So when they got married, they moved back to Baghdad, and using her education, she started these groups to help poor Iraqis, poverty, children, and all that. She spent her whole life. So this woman was an elder woman. Her children were grown, and they kidnapped her. And they would make videos and send out of them beating her, saying that they were going to kill her if they didn't release some terrorist or something that they had. But of course they did not release the terrorist, and they eventually did murder her. They shot her. They did not cut her head off. So we were spared that. But that's when I knew that I had to go. If they would murder someone that was that good to their own people, what would they do? So that's when I decided to get the hell out of Dodge and come back. And I probably would have anyway, because my mother-in-law and I did not see eye to eye. She liked to be the big boss, and I wasn't used to anybody bossing me. But that was what prompted me to come back to the United States.